Good morning. Welcome to another Monday Mindset. It is January 13th, 2025, 10 o'clock, ready to go Eastern Standard Time. I hope all of you had an amazing weekend. What a great weekend of football. So you guys know I'm based out of Philadelphia. We go to a lot of Eagles games, but I'm not actually a true Eagles fan. Some of you know that about me. Some of you don't know that about me. I actually grew up a Washington Redskins fan. So watching the Washington Commanders win last night was unbelievable. I think they haven't had this type of season in like 33 years. So Dan Snyder just took that team and drove it into the dirt. And now, finally, with Jayden Daniels, we might have something. He looks really good. I mean, still a lot of work to do. But hopefully, when we go to Detroit, we'll beat the Detroit Lions. Don't know who you're cheering for. Good morning, Lily. Glad to have you on. Today, we're going to talk about email marketing. I want to give you some tips on email marketing. Reason why this is on my mind is not only did Joe Campert say this is the thing he wanted to learn about, so I want to make sure I dive into that topic, but we actually just had the privilege on our podcast, Stay Paid. So go check out our podcast, Stay Paid. We interview entrepreneurs, thought leaders in the insurance space and just marketing and real estate, a bunch of different industries. But we interviewed Jay Schweldson, and I'm probably butchering his last name. He has one of the number one marketing podcasts in the world, and his expertise is email marketing. So he created the website subjectlines.com. He has tested over 15 million email subject lines to try to determine what's working, what's not working. He has a marketing agency that their whole job is doing email campaigns for companies. So he does millions of emails a year and different email campaigns. So he is really in tune with the data. And he just came on our podcast, Stay Paid. The episode actually hasn't released yet. So I am going to give you guys some of Jay's best tips that he's seen so you can apply that to your email marketing for 2025. The thing about email marketing is there's so much noise, but it still is an effective way from an ROI standpoint to market to your list. Because I think it's like for every dollar you spend in email marketing, you make on average like $38 or $40 on average. So it's a great ROI in terms of marketing spend. The only issue is everybody's doing email marketing. So how do you cut through the noise? The average consumer is getting 40 plus emails a day in their inbox. How do you stand out in the consumer's inbox to actually get opened, get read, get clicked through, so that person takes action to book an appointment with you or reach out to you or at least get into your funnel? And the other good thing I would encourage you about focusing on your email list is social media you don't control, right? You don't control the algorithms. I don't think they're going anywhere. But you look at what's happening with TikTok right now. TikTok's going to probably be banned for maybe a month and then turn back on. Who knows what will happen? But you don't control that. So if you built up a big following on Facebook like this group, or you build up a big following on Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it is, the algorithm can literally change overnight, and anybody that's been in marketing long enough has seen the algorithms change to where your organic reach is not the same. The type of content it's preferring and pushing to your audience is not the same. It's like a business page on Facebook. It shows your content to like 0.01% of your actual following. So unless you pay to play on Facebook from your business page, it's really a digital business card is what your Facebook business page is that when people search you, they find your business page, they should see reviews, they should see consistent posting, they should see good photos on there and your good contact information because it's a digital business card. But in terms of your following from your business page, actually seeing your content, unless you're paying to play, it's not happening very much for very many people. So an email list is something that you own, you control, that no matter what happens with the social media algorithms, you have your email list that you can hit, that you can constantly use all these other mediums like conferences and your social media and your sales calls to add to your email list. Just because someone doesn't buy from you today doesn't mean you can't drip on them that they buy from you later. So everything you should be doing should be going into building this email list. We have over 500,000 subscribers now on our email list for our prospecting for Reminder Media. And it is a significant source of sales for us throughout the year of us dripping on people through our email. So here are some tips that I'm going to share with you today. Good morning, Alicio. Good to see you on, man. Today that Jay shared with us on the podcast that you can apply to your email marketing. One is, should you use emojis and GIFs in your messages and in your subject lines? So Jay asked us that question. And the answer is, Steven, Josh and I said, well, emojis used to work on us. I'm not sure if they work anymore. And he goes, well, the answer is you should, because it increases open rates dramatically when you have an emoji in your subject line. And it kind of does make sense from this perspective. The way to think about standing out is put yourself in the consumer's shoes and think about how you look at your Outlook, how you look at your Gmail, and go, what stands out for me when I'm scanning my Gmail really quickly, and an emoji still pops, because he said it's like, I forget the exact number, if it was like 25%, 20% or less actually use emojis. So you're still, majority of people are not using them. So you're still standing out. So I thought that was interesting. Try emoji in your next email. We're going to try it for a lot of our clients with Reminder Media. The other thing that I thought was really interesting when it came to subject lines, because I was just asking him, hey, well, what are you seeing is working? He said shortening your subject line to like one word or 2 words was really effective. And he said the reason why it's really effective for your email is if you think again, looking at your Outlook and reading the subject lines, looking at your Gmail, right, and reading the subject lines, what stands out? What stands out is when you have an email in there that's like one word, because every other thing that you're seeing, it's going across the page, and then this one is real short, so it immediately pops off what I would call the feed, but immediately pops out of that inbox because it's just one word. So try maybe a 1-word subject line. He said you actually see it twofold. One is if you write a subject line that is really long and extends past the whole amount of characters that it will show in that UI, that inbox, that helps increase. But also the 1-word subject line or the 2-word subject lines. Another tip for your subject line that he shared was doing a capital 1 word, where you have your first word in all caps, and that will pop off the page. First word in all caps. The other tip he gave is that you should talk to people, you should personalize your subject lines, but really not just with the name. So you could say Luke, right? But that's kind of gotten old a little bit. But he says talk to someone in first person. Don't talk to them like they're in third person or something like that they're not around you. Talk to them like you're actually giving them the answer or how they would want to read it. The third tip I wrote down, I think I gave more than 3 tips there, but the third tip that I wrote down is the timing of your email. So you can change your subject lines, which will be effective, but timing when your email goes out. And this is something I'm going to apply to Reminder Media because, I was thinking about when we send our emails on behalf of clients, but he said over 80% of all email campaigns are sent out on the hour. So if you send an email, then you're competing with a lot of other messages and you may just be lost in the crowd. So I thought that was really interesting. Over 80% of all email campaigns are actually timed to go out on the hour. So simply moving it so you're not sent exactly on the hour increased open rates 15%. However, keep it close to the hour when you do send your message because 70% of all email traffic occurs within 10 minutes of the hour, which I thought was really interesting. So it's like if you think about when you're going to send an email or time a campaign, just a simple hack for you to help increase your open rate is instead of sending it, let's say at 10 o'clock, you send it at like 10:08 or 10:07 or something like that. So where you're coming in a little differently than everybody else because everybody else is sending on the hour. So very, very interesting. Okay. I shared with you guys, right, personal subject lines because, like, here was an example he also said about being intentional with your language. If you use the word tomorrow in your subject line, he said it led to a 28% higher open rate over using the specific day of the week. And the word free in your subject line was twice as likely to be opened as the word complimentary. So these are just, notes and different things that I've written down from him. So I thought that was really interesting of, the words you use in your subject line matters. The rule of marketing is what? To always be testing, always A/B testing. Now this guy, Jay, he's doing millions of emails and part of his job as his agency is to test different subject lines and how it increases. So you want to write personal subject lines because that hones you in. You want to write as you're talking in first person to this person that's going to open it. but using a word like tomorrow led to a 28% higher open rate versus using a specific day of the week like Tuesday, Wednesday, or something like that. I told you, time your emails carefully. Another tip that he gave is segmented campaigns. So oftentimes as marketers or as salespeople, we tend to blast everybody on our list because we, have the philosophy, hey, more the better. I have 10,000 subscribers. I'm going to hit all 10,000. He said segmented campaigns, which makes a lot of sense to me, do better than mass blast campaigns. So a segmented campaign would be you're taking a characteristic about your audience. Maybe, he wrote down an example that was like birthday emails, everybody with a birthday, and you're sending them a message, and it's still maybe a promotion for your business, but it's based upon their birthday that's happening. And actually one of the tips he gave, let's see if I can find it, he basically said that celebration emails do really well. Celebration emails, so like celebrating someone's anniversary of being a client with you, celebrating their birthday, celebrating a life event. And this tracks with my knowledge in marketing, which has been focused on like relationship-based marketing, that people just tend to respond and engage more when it is something personal, but it's something personal that is naturally, something you would talk about or something you would reach out to somebody on, because who doesn't love receiving something nice on their birthday? Here are the highest performing email offers, he calls them, but they're not really like promotion offers as much as they are like categories of what you would send an email. So one is content based emails. Had a 29% increase. So content email would be described as like, so you're sending educational content to people. So educational content, stuff like that, did really well. So versus just sending a promotion on buying something. Second was like list and checklist. So saw a 28% increase in open rates when it was a list or it was a checklist. So that was interesting. Free guides and reports were a 22% increase. And then this was interesting, on-demand videos. So I guess putting videos in your email, 21% increase in click-through, and especially when you included the words watch now in the subject line of emails linking to videos, increased open rates by 34%. So having on-demand videos increases your engagement by like 21%, but putting the words watch now in your subject line increased by 34%. Very interesting. Lowest performing email offers, ebooks, 24% decrease when it was an ebook. Webinars, 19% decrease. White papers, 22% decrease. Infographics, 16% decrease. Very interesting because it tracks from this perspective of what do people want? They want value. They don't want boring educational content. We make the mistake in marketing is like, man, if I send somebody a white paper on what's happening in insurance, it will raise my credibility as a thought leader. But the problem is they won't engage with it. They'll never read it, so they'll never really trust your credibility besides the fact that they just saw a white paper. Ebooks, same idea. People don't read regular books. They probably aren't going to read ebooks, but I thought that was interesting. It's something that I'm going to take back to Reminder Media because we do ebooks and going, okay, what are we seeing with our ebooks? Is this tracking for people where framing it as an ebook decreased, but framing it as a free guide or a free report had a 22% increase. So I think a lot of it is just also wording and how you're presenting the value item that you're sending in your email. If you present it as a free guide or you present it as a free report versus presenting it as an ebook or a white paper or an infographic, I think that had a huge, huge difference. So from this, I would share with you a quote that I've read to my team, which is vision without execution is hallucination. That's Thomas Edison. Vision without execution is hallucination. Now, I don't want a bunch of crazy people. I don't want you guys hallucinating this week. I want you to take action and execute. So what's one thing you can do that's really easy that you don't have to overthink? Try using a one-word subject line or a two-word subject line on your next email that goes out. Or try putting an emoji in your subject line the next time you send your email. Try capitalizing the first word in all caps of your email and see if that increases your open rate. That's what we're doing. I literally chatted my team this morning and said, hey, for all our local events emails going out, can we try the one word or two word in all caps and see what that does? And then another test with the emoji and see what that does. You got to put into execution. Otherwise, you're just hallucinating. It's just crazy. Good old Thomas Edison, right? Guy did a lot of things. We should trust it and do it the same. Get out there and win this week. I appreciate you guys joining. Hopefully this was valuable for you. Email tips, chat in, let me know on the video other topics that you want to hear. Get out there, win for your family, for your clients, and for you. Let's make it happen. It's January 13th. It's Monday. Let's go crush the week. Appreciate you guys.